Hey Cornerstone, it's Belle here. Just want to give you a little bit of a background on the set that is behind me at the moment. Watching the worship video a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure you all noticed that there was some random trees and lights that just popped out of nowhere all of a sudden. There is a bit of a story behind this, and I'm very excited to share that story with you this morning. God has been working through this installation from literally the get-go. So there have been some really cool things that have happened during this installation. So thank you so much for some feedback I've received so far. It really brought a smile to my face, seeing that you guys really appreciated the work that went into this. And I'm so happy that it managed to speak to you in some way, because that was what my main goal was. One day I was driving home after grabbing myself a coffee. My coffee exploded all over me, and I had coffee stains on my fingers. I'm someone that loves creating and I love getting my hands dirty, and I realized in that moment that I hadn't had that opportunity for quite a few months since COVID had hit. And in that moment, I realized how much I missed creating and how much I missed building something. In that moment, I prayed to God and I said, God, I'm really craving to be creative again. I really want an opportunity to create something. I would love an opportunity to build, to get my hands dirty again. Please send me an opportunity where I can do that. And I had no idea in what space or capacity that would entail, but I just left it to him and I said, please just send me something. I would be so grateful. The next day, Charlie messaged me and she said, hey Belle, just wondering, do you want to help us with some set display on the stage? And it was incredible. Within less than 24 hours, God had already answered my prayer, and it was just insane. And hadn't even spent 20 seconds, I'd already sent back a message, yes, I'm there. So coming into this space and looking at the stage, we literally had no idea what we were going to create. I had no idea what I was going to create. Charlie and I, we were talking about a few ideas, and I was trying to get an idea of what the church wanted and what we wanted to create in this space, specifically with the worship team. And ideally what we wanted was to create a space just that created some form of unity and a bit of a perimeter of like just a little hub on the stage where everyone was kind of more collected. And as I was on stage and as I was just passing around a few ideas, this image popped into my head out of nowhere. And I was taken back to one of Clem's sermons when he was talking about the two olive trees and how he showed us this illustration with the trees, and there was an oil lamp in between the two oil trees, and the oil was coming out of the trees and then feeding into the lamp. And the minute that God provided me with that image, he then created the way, which was extraordinary. And all of a sudden, things just kept popping up out of nowhere that enabled me to be able to create this vision that I believe he'd given me. So thinking about what the oil trees meant and how I could have been able to visually give that to you guys, and thinking about what that means for us at the moment during COVID. This season has given us many challenges, many trials, and it has affected us in very different ways. And thinking about, for me, what trees provide is healing and nurturing. I know that whenever I'm really burnt out or feeling a bit overwhelmed, the first thing I do is go into nature. Trees have this incredible feeling of warmth and groundedness, and when we're feeling like things are a little bit out of control, trees have this very rooted, grounded feeling, and when I'm around trees, I know that I feel 100 times better. The next favourite thing on my list are fairy lights, and I have never met anyone who honestly could say they don't like fairy lights. And if you're out there, I'd love to meet you, because honestly, I don't know if there's anyone who doesn't like fairy lights. but I know that they make me happy, and I wanted to be able to bring that happiness through the screen. So I had this very random idea, and I was thinking, how am I going to apply this? So it was really quite amazing. God sent quite a few little kind of images along the way, so I knew I was heading along the right path. As soon as I'd seen this olive tree picture in my head, all I started seeing after that was olive trees. They were everywhere. As I was out trying to find stuff for the display, I saw fake olive trees in a homewares department. I saw an olive tree painted on a plate. That I was at my friend's house. She was serving me cake, and there was an olive tree on the plate. And it was just this constant, definite God saying to me, you're doing the right thing. And I had a lot of joy in that moment. It was very fun. Then we had to start sourcing supplies, and just so happened to find the branches lying around in the church, which was a very happy find. And literally sitting at home on Sunday morning, I was mid-listening to one of the worship videos, and my parents were driving down the street, and they called me and they said, we've just seen this random box of leaves sitting on the side of the road that may help with your display. And I couldn't believe it. I quickly stopped my video, threw on some clothes, ran down the street, was literally down the end of my street, and there was this box of bay leaves that some family had cut and pruned one of their trees, and there was a beautiful big sign on the front saying, free branches, please enjoy and take home, and some smiley faces on the sign. And I just thought it was literally God working in that moment, just providing in so many ways to ensure that this installation was going to take off. And it was really, really cool. So grabbed my leaves and then drove home and came in the next day and started to build what you can now see. So essentially, there is a lot of symbology behind these olive trees, and I have tried to work with the two trees forming the pillars on either side of the stage, and the fairy lights are acting as the oil flowing out of these trees, and that would then come down into that space of the oil lamp. I had so much fun building this installation, and throughout the whole time I was praying to God, and He was with me, working with me through this. And I was in here on my own and I was tangled in fairy lights, but I was laughing because I was just so excited to have an opportunity where I could create and where I could be able to give something back to you guys. And I was really, really excited to be able to have this opportunity. So thank you so much. And I'm really, really happy that it has brought some joy to the worship. That was all I wanted. And I'm really glad that it has been able to bring a little sparkle to your morning. So thank you so much. I hope to see you guys soon. See ya.